My name is Sebastiaan van der Lans, and I tend to describe myself as an open source nerd. I run a web agency since 2006, and since 2007 we work with the software WordPress. WordPress empowers 1 in 3 of every website on the web. More than 10 million websites it is. So yeah, I'm the founder and of the biggest WordPress agency in the Netherlands. So we work with television shows, big publishers, stuff like that, the charity. And since 2013, I'm in the Bitcoin space, or that was the first time that I bought Bitcoin, programmed something with Bitcoin with my company. And what I saw there, hey, WordPress is really cool. It's open source software, and 1/3 of all the websites on the web run that software. The number 2 software for websites only does 2.6%. So WordPress is really huge, and it's open source software plus a community, which makes a market leader. In that way, for me, WordPress is proof that blockchain will work. Blockchain, open source software as well. We can bring the freedom from WordPress, the community from WordPress, that ideal. We proved at WordPress that they can work. So WordPress is my proof that blockchain will work. That's why I really love the topic. Officially, the company is started or registered halfway 2019, but I started the research process halfway 2018. We started to create the team in January or February this year. You go to, there are tens of millions of WordPress websites in the world. In WordPress, you can extend WordPress with plugins. So from every WordPress dashboard in the world, you can go to plugin, add new, say, hey, I want to install WordProof. And from that moment, it's installed. Configuration takes you 3 to 4 minutes. And from that moment, you're up and running. You have 2 sides. Number 1, the publisher who timestamps, and number 2, the listener or the reader who checks if something is timestamped. In a way, timestamp means taking accountability. Hey, I stand for this content. So it could be to protect your copyright, to take accountability for the trustworthiness of the content. It could be e-commerce, web shop saying, hey, this is the terms and conditions, and we timestamp them. So it could be anything. The idea started when I saw a video from Brandon Bloomer in 2017, and he said, in 5 years from now, if you don't timestamp your articles on the blockchain, you'll be considered to fraud. What do you have to hide? And that resonated a lot with me. And we thought, okay, hey, how can we, of course, blockchain, we can make Uber on the blockchain, we can do Bitcoin, we can do DeFi, but that's kind of far, in a way, it's far from where we are today. What I tried to do with WordProof, or what we are trying to do, is how can we make it small and practical? What is the smallest use case? And that's how we came to timestamping. It's possible today, it's easy, it's without investing, it's without, tokens don't have a big of a role. So we try to bring blockchain to the masses by stripping away the financial part. And what we say, kind of a problem statement, hey, the web is broken, trust in the web decreases significantly. There's the Ipsos research on it. 39% say they were using the internet more selectively this year as an opposite to last year, among other precautions. And 49% say that their distrust has made that they disclose less personal information online. There's revisionism and plagiarism on the internet, and small players, small companies, or the consumers, it's hard to protect their rights. And what we want to do is making journalism, creativity, and e-commerce, they are in a way broken. It's not a fair playing field. We want to fix that. We want to fix the trust in the internet. And to make it more practical, we'll use a small example. Here we see websites, two websites. One is The Guardian, and normal news website, and here we see CoinDesk. And what's the last years, what happened a lot in, you see, hey, there's a moment where they published it, and there's also a moment where they updated it. Here, it's really common on every news website. Last updated 2 hours ago. In a way, you can say, wow, they're so transparent. But the opposite for me is true. I want to know what was there. What was it that I'm not allowed to see anymore? So I think, and I hope, and we should make this happen with all of us, that everyone who changes content should disclose what was there. If it was content that made us form our opinion, make us go vote in an election, whatever it may be terms in a web shop. If the content has changed, I think that I, as a consumer, as a reader, have the right to see and know what was there. So that was my point. What I want is, I want to be able to click on less modified, or I want to be able to click on updated and see what changed over time. So for example, when we have a website, what we do, that's WordProof in action. If you have, or there's a great article on market shares in the content management market. So here's an analysis of which is the biggest way to publish on the internet. Here's an article with some stats. And under every piece of article on the web, at least when it's news or statistics or any content people form their opinions on, you can see here, view this content's timestamp certificate. And what you can see here is the content has been timestamped in the blockchain. Why is it important? And you can check it. But more importantly, if I click on it, view the previous versions. This is the current version. This is the previous version, and I can check what changed in every version. This is the EOS Block Explorer. And I can see a hash of this content is timestamped at this moment in time. So I can prove that I had this piece of content at that moment in time. And with every change, with every revision, you timestamp it again. And what WordProof for WordPress, that's the project we made this year, does is make sure that that will happen on the background with your own EOSIO account. So it could be a Telos, it could be EOS, maybe in the future Europe chain, whatever. You can timestamp content automatically on the background. You can do it manually as well with Scatter as a wallet, but you can do it automatically as well in a total decentralized way. In this case, what we do is people have their own WordPress website. So for example, here I have Sebastiaan, it's Sebastiaans.blog, that's my personal website. And there's just content. My content is there, or the articles are right, or whatever it may be. That content is on my website. What I do is I make a hash of that content, and that hash, we put that one in the blockchain. So I can always prove that I had that content, but the content itself is not in the blockchain, because that's a big risk with GDPR. If I have to change that content, or if I have to delete it, I can't, because it's in the blockchain. That's the nature of the blockchain. Timestamp 100, often 100 plus, sometimes 100, sometimes 300 articles a day. We were lucky enough to have enough EOS people from the team and around us to stake for it. So we in the vision of the company, and that's what Dan Larimer said as well, devs should stake for their users, and we were lucky enough to be able to do so. So that's what we say, hey, just saying you updated an article is not enough. Just saying you updated your terms and conditions is not enough. And we provide a way to make it A, transparent, and B, to make it trustworthy by timestamping it in the blockchain. That's what WordProof brings to the table. So we solve it, timestamped content with blockchain to make verifiable proof of existence, that are expensive words for what I just showed you, and ownership, and we all did that in an open source way. The plugin is open source. And what we want to standardize the way to timestamp. So not only humans can prove, but also social media websites and search engines could prove, hey, is this content timestamped? And so that they could verify it all in a standardized way. Maybe we could elaborate a bit on that during the Q&A at the end. This improves the openness and trustworthiness of the web significantly because everybody can verify everything. And yeah, what we're working on is making a whole timestamping ecosystem. So maybe I will share the slides after, but for different industries, we want to make sure, hey, we want to see, hey, what tooling are you using? And we want to build plugins for every content management system, e-commerce system, social media, to make sure that everything can be timestamped. And then we will, A, we will make the tools to timestamp, and B, we will make the tools to verify. We started this year, 2019, for us was really about making a first product, launching it at the WordPress conference in June, receiving feedback, improving the product, because, for example, first it was only possible to timestamp manually with a blockchain wallet, but for a journalist or a web shop owner, often even a blockchain wallet is really complicated stuff for them. If they're not dealing with blockchain on a daily basis, it's really hard. So we tried to make the perfect tool for the WordPress ecosystem, and I think we do a great job. We already did 130,000 timestamps, our users, of real content. So yeah, we started with WordPress. That's where my background was. That's where we have experience with building plugins. And yeah, we started with WordPress, and that's, yeah, we tend to talk on 2020 later. We will expand, we will deepen our work in the WordPress ecosystem. And number two, we will roll out to other ecosystems as well soon. Case study, Persgroep is one of the biggest publishers in the Netherlands. One of their platforms is called In de Buurt. And what they saw, articles were copied from their platform. So in a way, we timestamped for them, with them on a daily basis. A lot of new articles are being timestamped. And yeah, on that way, they have proof of their ownership. They can download blockchain certificates, which give them the proof that they were the owner of that content. That's a case study on our website, wordproof.io. There are many more case studies to come. Now we have one from this publisher, and a second one is from a creative studio, creative agency, who use it to protect their creative work. What we will do is, number one, we call it vertical scaling. Sounds good, but it means working with partners in the WordPress ecosystem for distribution. So for example, there are plugins reaching millions of WordPress websites. What we try to do is collaborating with plugins who have the same values as we do, making the web a better place in a trustworthy way. And what we try to do is partner with that plugins. Also, you have web hosting companies. So that's the company where you buy a domain name and hosting space, EOS Nairobi, for example. We will work with plugins, we will work with hosting companies to do distribution in the WordPress ecosystem. That's one of the pillars. The second pillar is horizontal scaling, rolling out WordProof to other platforms, will be open source platforms, closed source platforms as well. And you're the first one hearing this on air. What we will do, we have a few plans, having credits a month for timestamping content, and we think that proving integrity, it should be a human right and not a privilege. And for that reason, we will make the basic plan free from halfway this month. So on that way, it's really inclusive, it's accessible for everyone. And yeah, our dedication is, what's standing here on the bottom. We work on the ecosystem, on standardization, and we're continuously committing to, we're going to make timestamping increasingly easier, so better UX. There's great UX in our team, more valuable by making it readable by search engines and social media, by working on standards, and more accessible, so affordable by making sure that there's a free plan, and we will roll out to the major platforms, so it's accessible for everybody. Timestamping could be the way leading blockchain to mass adoption, because that's a non-violent, non-financial use case to get people familiar with the concepts of blockchain.